Hello, this is Malik from GreatThingsForStrings.com, and today we are going to replace the railing on this deck right here. So basically we're just going to put in spindles, and I'm going to try to show you how to do that in a few easy steps. It's pretty basic. These are the tools over here. So you need a hammer drill, a level, tape measure, possibly a hammer, the deck railing material, and a chop saw right here. And you're also gonna need a sawzall. It's always a good idea to have a sawzall when you're doing demolition. That's step one. Get your tools. Now we're just gonna, remove the boards and stuff. Okay, so after you remove the old railings, you are going to measure. Well, but before we do that, you want to get all your pieces. So this will be the top. This will be the handrail. This is the spindle that I'd like. All of this is gonna have to be measured. This weatherproof 2x4 is gonna be the base bottom, and this piece of wood here is what you attach the spindle to this. And then this fits right inside the hand railing. I'll show you right now. So that fits right in there. So this way you don't have holes up here from putting the handrails in. The spindles in. So the next step's gonna be, we're gonna measure from that post, from this post to this post on the inside, because these will go inside here. And then I'm gonna cut this, the handrail, and the base that length. And this is about 67 5/8. No. Okay, so now I measured the top railing, the base, and the piece of wood that attaches into it. Now I'm just going to cut them to size.
Okay. Go.
So I cut the handrail to the right length for the top. Now since this piece goes in, so we're going to cut this piece to the same length. And that will just be like that. I'm going to take a pencil. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is this is the top, right? So this is gonna go into our handrail. This is the base for the spindles. So I just need to put some holes in these to attach the spindles. So I'm just gonna put this here and try to center it as best as I can. So this is a 3.5. So I'm gonna do about 1 inch, and then at about 1 inch, and then about 2.5. Okay, mark that down. Okay, and then I'm just gonna do the same thing over here. So the next step is you would take your drill with about 1/8 drill bit, and just drill a hole once you put the piece of wood that's going into the railing, which is about 1 inch from each end, which is marked. So you just want to pre-drill it so that you don't split the wood. Okay, and then then just put a screw in, and again, this is a temporary screw. This is just to hold it in place while you drill the 4-inch holes. Okay, so now that we have attached secured a piece of wood that goes into the railing to the base, we're gonna measure out where to drill the holes to attach the spindles. Now the spindle it's about 1.25 inches. So you kind of want to measure these out probably every 5 inches. The code in my town says that the spindles have to be 4 inches apart. So when you calculate 1 inch on the inside of the line, you're talking about every 5 inches I would want to drill a hole in order to attach these. So now that I have measured out where I'm putting the spindles, so they're about 4 inches apart, I'm just going to drill a hole through the top and the base so that the holes match. So then I could just put the spindles in from each end. So now that I have drilled holes in the top and the base, so I have evenly spread out holes, I'm going to attach these brackets because this is how I'm going to hang it onto the post. So this bracket goes here into the top, and then this one's going to go into the 4x4 post. So we're just going to do that right now. The next step now is to measure the spindles. Again, the codes are different for different towns. In my town, it's 34 inches is the top of the railing. So what I'm gonna do is I want to lift the base over here. I want to lift the base 5 inches so I could shovel the snow underneath. So that's gonna be here. And I marked it on both ends. And then for the top, I'm putting these caps on, which take almost 1 inch from the top. And then I have these two. This is the handrail. This is the wood that the spindles are going to go into. Those pop into each other. And I'm going to put that right underneath this right here. And mark that here. And then that is going to be the length of my spindles. Is going to go from this line to this line. So now we're getting ready to cut the spindles down to size, and I did some pre-math here. I'll just run it through for you. So from this line to this line is 26.5. The spindle is 35.75. So you simply, depending what you want, you could just take the whole chunk off the top, but then it's going to be uneven. I like them to be even. So what I did is I subtracted 26.5 from 35.75, and I got 9.25. And then I divided that by half, which gave me 4.5 plus 1/8. So the 1/8 is 2 more lines in the quarter. Okay, so now I'm just going to measure 4.5 and 1/8 from this end, 4.5 and 1/8 from this end, and I'm just going to cut them down. So the next step, after you cut your spindles to the right size, you take the bottom, the base that you pre-drilled holes through, and this is a 2x4 weatherproof. So I'm using 2.5-inch screws, and that gives me about 3/4 of a screw goes into the spindle. On top of that, I'm using Gorilla Glue or any type of super glue. I'm going to put just a little drop of it there, and then put a screw in like this, and every 4 inches all the way down. Okay, so we attached all the spindles to the bottom, the base, with the brackets. Now we're going to attach the top. So one of the first things you want to do is you want to make sure you measure for these brackets, and you sort of loosely just attach them. And then same thing like the bottom. Every 4 inches, you screw the top of the spindle in. And again, don't forget a little Gorilla Glue, a little dollop. So now basically I screwed these in, and then I just go measuring each one just to be accurate. That's about 4 right there. And then you gotta be really careful with this wood so it doesn't split on you. So the next step, so now we attach the top, that piece of wood that I told you about. So we basically put the spindles in every 4 inches, and there you go. This is the gate. I mean, this is the fencing. So now the next step is you're gonna take this piece. I told you, and it has a slot cut in to it that fits this piece of wood right in it. So this basically you put in right on top, make it match. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, from down here, I'm gonna make sure I get a screw that will not punch through the top. So you wanna measure this, which is I think 1/2 inch, and this, which is about 1 inch, so 1.5 inches. So you don't wanna really go more than 1 inch screw. I guess like a drywall screw would work, or even a smaller one if you could find. And you just put a couple of them, maybe every other one, into the top of the railing, and that's that.
Gorilla Glue?
Gorilla Glue. Put Gorilla Glue along. I'm gonna put a line of Gorilla Glue here, and then put the top railing on. So that's pretty much it. I just attached the handrail. Like I said, I put a line of Gorilla Glue, and as you can see here, I just put screws. There are 1 inch screws into that piece of wood, which attaches to the railing, and then the Gorilla Glue will solidify that. And that is that. This is your deck railing. This is your 6-foot deck railing, made for very cheap when you do the work yourself. And now, if you remember the brackets that we've added over here, you have the top and the bottom, and these just go right into the 4x4s. And I'm going to use long screws. I'm going to put it in right here. And we're just going to screw that in, and that will be that. And once you attach it, those brackets right here, you zoom in. Here we go. So basically I just take these big screws, they're weatherproof. I think it's a 3-inch. And you just put it into those brackets, which are up here, and then here into this post. And this is, I mean, this is solid. This is not going anywhere. So that's how you replace your deck railing. Again, don't forget to check us out at greatthingsforstrings.com. Have a great day.